Hello everyone, today I've got a Thorens TD-165 turntable to show you. This is a manual turntable. That means it's got no automated systems like being able to move the arm over to the record and play out and then return. Basically, this is strictly a manual turntable, which is very common with the Thorens. They were sort of a no frills, no fuss kind of a company out of Germany, actually. Thorens as a company started in Switzerland and shifted manufacturing over in the mid 1960s until basically today, although the company today is not nearly the same as the company of yesteryear. These are vintage turntables and they're renowned for being pretty much bulletproof. They've lasted decades and are still going strong, as is this one. So this is manufactured in Lahr, Germany. I used to actually live there for 2 years. I used to sell hi-fi in a military PX about 3 kilometers from the factory where these were made. And so I know them quite well. And like I say, they're highly regarded all around the world as one of the premier turntable manufacturers out there. So what we have here is a slightly customized one. So what's good about it is it's got the original dust cover, which is kind of rare with these. A lot of them break over the years. It's got the original hinges with no cracks, which is another amazing feat. A little bit scuffed up. I mean, I commensurate with its age, but it can actually be brought up with, I use Meguiar's headlight polish and polish these babies up, and you can actually make them just look like new. Takes a lot of elbow grease, but it can be done. I've done about a dozen of them, so we'll leave that to the next person that owns this turntable to do them. So it's a lot. It has a bit of effort to do it, but it sure is rewarding when they look like new again. Anyway, the customizations that we've got on this turntable doesn't outwardly look like it, but the plinth itself, as you can see here, is there's 2 versions of this plinth that were made. There was the one for the TD-165 and then the one for the TD-160. This is the TD-160, my other customized turntable. So the original TD-165, which is this one, had a vinyl veneer on their plinth, and because I customized this TD-160, they actually had a wood veneer, so it's identical dimensions and everything, the same plinth. However, with the upscale TD-160, what they did was they made it out of a wood veneer instead of a vinyl veneer. So it's actual wood covering on the plinth. The other customization, of course, is my sort of 3D logo that I print out. It's one of my customizations that I do to most of my turntables. The good thing is this one is actually totally reversible. Some people don't like because that's not original to how the turntable was. I just kind of like the look of it. But it's on there with 2-sided tape. It can be put on more permanently like I do with these ones, where I actually glue them on with crazy glue, but I leave it this way so that people can either elect to keep it or remove it and have it look more original without affecting the plinth itself. The other customization are the feet on these. They were notoriously bad for the feet they put on their turntable plinths back in the day. It was just a little stub of rubber. So what I've done is I've put much beefier feet on it, and then attached to the feet, of course, is the baseboard. And again, they kind of chinched out on those on all of their product lines and just put sort of press board. Back then, they didn't know that the more rigid you made the plinth, the better sounding it is. So what I did was I took out the old one, measured it up, and put a 3/8 inch MDF solid plinth to stiffen this up and to make it acoustically neutral, basically, for playing your record, so it makes it sound a lot better. And then pretty much everything else is pretty much stock. You've got the standard controls, the two-part platter system with the belt drive. It's got a nice good belt on this one. And of course the TP-11 arm with the hanging weight anti-skate, and a TP-60 head shell. This one's modified to be able to take all half-inch mount cartridges, whether they're top screwed in or bottom screwed in. They can be modified to do that. A lot of people don't know that. And then of course the hanging weight on this one was missing, so I actually had to make one up, made from lead weights and fishing line, which is basically what the original one is. The only thing is you can still get the original ones, but they charge like $70 or $80 for them on eBay. So it does the same job, same weight, and basically prevents the arm from sliding across the record when you're playing it, which is the purpose of anti-skating. So I'll flange this thing up. Oh, and then the other thing is, so this is the original cover, and I do offer an option to get, so this is exactly the same turntable. It's just dressed up. It's a TD-165, just dressed up differently to match my quad system here. And as you can see, I make these custom dust covers, which are they just pop. And of course I can make that for that instead if somebody wanted that type of dust cover instead of the original. I prefer that style because when I play my record players, I never ever play as you see here with it pivoted up, because this is just one big huge acoustic sail. So I'm only doing this for demonstration purposes, but normally what I do is I remove all my dust covers when I'm playing my turntables. And as you can see, same with my custom TD-160 up here. So let's flange this thing up. We'll kick it up, and a belt drive, they're a little slower to get started than say a Technics direct drive. These things are up to speed within one revolution. But of course here you've got the big heavy mass of the platter that you got to spin up to speed. And once it's up to speed, it's good to go. So I'm going to play it on my Pioneer SX950 receiver that I rebuilt. I rebuilt all the boards on that. It was in pretty shoddy shape when I got it. I rebuilt the cabinet and all that, and it was kind of a piece that needed some work, but now it's just sounds like it's brand new and looks like it's brand new with the new case and everything. So let's do what we call a needle drop. Play a little Dire Straits here for you. Half speed mastered, so it's a good quality record. As you can hear, it sounds absolutely spectacular. You get a shiver in the dark. Mind you, the mic on this phone is not that great, so you probably can't totally tell if you're listening to it.
Down on the river, you stop and you hold everything. A band is blowing Dixie, double here.
Both channels are working just fine. Imaging is absolutely spectacular. All we have is an Audio-Technica AT72E cart on it. Styluses can be obtained. This one's in really, really good shape. Not very many hours on it. And I've even got an image of a microscope image of the stylus to show you it's in good shape. But as you can hear, it sounds really good.
Way on down south, London town. Check out Guitar George. He knows all the chords.
And just to show you, the cueing mechanism is working just fine. I'll just plunk it down somewhere here. There we go. as I mentioned, this has is a manual turntable, so once it's finished playing, it'll just sit there and play on the out grooves there. But there are options. I've got one here on this turntable. You can buy these as add-ons for these turntables. In fact, I put them on all of mine. They're worth about $100, but you can get actually some from China that are about $50 that you mount right in here. And when it finishes playing out, it'll actually trip a little switch and lift the arm up. And that way you're saving your stylus from being worn out if you fall asleep while you're listening to the record. So those kinds of options exist. The other thing I do is I use a timer with my stereo system so that if I'm feeling groggy, I'll put some good tunes on, set the timer to shut the system off, so give it enough time to play out the length of the the record, and then it'll lift up after it's finished playing, and then a few minutes later it'll just shut off. So those kinds of things can be done with these types of turntables, which is a really nice upgrade if you so desire. So that's what I have for sale now. And if you have any questions, please drop me a line on the comments. I try to get back to everybody. And I invite people to come over and have a listen in person, because you really can't tell from a phone how good something sounds until you hear it in person. So thank you for watching. Have a good day.